All right, we are live. Max, say something smart about crystals so people don't leave in the first 10 seconds.
Crystals are rocks that make people feel things. Happy?
That's terrible, but true. Welcome back to Cosmic Crystal Channel. I'm Luna.
And I'm Max, the guy who used to think crystal energy was just a marketing scam. Spoiler, I still don't fully get it, but I'm trying.
He's our token skeptic. Today we're talking about one of my absolute favorites, Obsidian.
The black shiny one. Looks like dark glass. Breaks like glass too.
That's exactly what we need to talk about. Because a lot of obsidian out there is just black glass, but real obsidian, it has stories and some very practical uses.
So where does real obsidian come from? Volcanoes, right?
Yes, obsidian is natural volcanic glass. When lava cools super fast, like in seconds, it doesn't have time to form crystals, so it freezes into a smooth, glassy rock.
So it's like nature's instant coffee. Fast, dark, and a little bitter.
Stifling laugh. I hate how accurate that is. The best-known sources are Mexico, Iceland, Japan, Italy, and the western US, places with recent volcanic activity. But the most famous one is Apache Tears from Arizona.
Apache Tears. Sounds like a band name.
It's actually a sad but beautiful legend. The story goes, during a battle, Apache warriors chose to jump off a cliff rather than be captured. Their families cried so much that their tears turned into small black obsidian stones.
Okay, that's dark. But I get why people connect emotion to it.
Exactly. And that's why obsidian has always been used for protection and shadow work. In Aztec culture, they made mirrors out of polished obsidian for scrying, looking into the future, or your own subconscious.
So, it's like an ancient self-therapy tool.
Pretty much. And speaking of tools, let's get practical. Because someone out there just bought a black obsidian sphere for $50, and it might be fake.
All right, test me. I have 2 black stones here. How do I know which one is real obsidian?
First, scratch test. Obsidian is about 5.5 on the Mohs hardness scale. Glass is usually a bit softer, so try scratching it with a steel knife. If it scratches easily, it's probably glass. But don't do that on a pretty piece, you might return.
Too late. I already scratched my friends.
Facepalm. Second, temperature. Real obsidian feels cold to the touch and stays cold a little longer than glass when you hold it. Glass warms up faster.
That's actually helpful.
Third, look for tiny bubbles. Inclusions? With a jeweler's loupe or even your phone camera zoomed in, glass often has tiny round bubbles. Obsidian has gas cavities that look more irregular, or it has tiny mineral specks like snowflake obsidian, white cristobalite.
And what about people selling blue obsidian or golden obsidian?
Most of that is man-made glass. Real obsidian is usually black, brown, gray, or red mahogany obsidian. Andes obsidian is usually just colored glass from China.
Auk.
Then there's the fluorite scam. Some sellers take purple or green fluorite, which is much softer, Mohs 4, and call it rainbow obsidian. Fluorite can scratch easily, and it's toxic if you grind it and inhale the dust.
Wait. Toxic?
Fluorite contains fluorine. If you heat it or break it and breathe the dust, it's not good. Obsidian is safe. It's just silica, like window glass but natural.
So fake crystals can actually be dangerous.
Not life-threatening unless you're grinding them, but yes. That's why I only buy from trusted sources, like our Etsy shop, Lucky361, where every piece is naturally sourced.
Shameless plug. I like it. Okay, real talk. I've held obsidian before. I felt nothing. Cold rock.
That's super normal. Most people don't feel anything at first. It's like learning to hear a quiet instrument in a loud room.
So, how do you train yourself?
3 steps. I call it the sensitivity training triad from the Crystal Bible. Step 1. Clean your hands. No lotion, no food residue. Step 2. Hold the crystal in your non-dominant hand. For most people, left hand equals receiving energy. Close your eyes, breathe slowly. Don't expect anything, just observe. Step 3. Move your attention to your palm. Do you feel temperature change? A very light tingle? A sense of pressure? Some people feel a slow pulse.
I'll try it later, but honestly, is there any science or is it all placebo?
Fair question. There are 2 real scientific effects. Piezoelectric effect. When you squeeze quartz, it generates a tiny electric charge. That's how your watch works. Pyroelectric effect. When you heat certain crystals, they create a small voltage.
But that's quartz, not obsidian.
True, obsidian is glass, not crystalline, so it doesn't have a strong piezoelectric effect. But people still feel something, and I think it's a combination of belief, body awareness, and subtle temperature changes.
So you're saying it's not magic, but it's not nothing.
Exactly. Crystals don't replace doctors. They help you help yourself. That's the boundary of complementary healing. Okay, Max, we've covered a lot today. Like, a lot. My brain is full. Yours?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a nap, but in a good way. So let me try to recap, just so our listeners don't leave confused.
Please do. You're the organized one.
1. Obsidian is real volcanic glass. Fast-cooled lava. Comes from places like Mexico, Iceland, Japan. 2. There are a lot of fakes out there. Black glass, colored glass, even fluorite pretending to be obsidian. 3. You can test it with scratch, temperature, and bubble checks. 4. Not everyone feels crystal energy right away. That's normal. There's a little bit of Symes piezoelectric effect and a lot of personal sensitivity. 5. Zodiac matches matter. Obsidian is great for Scorpios, Sagittarians, and Capricorns, but honestly, anyone who needs grounding and protection. 6. Left hand for receiving wealth, love, good vibes. Right hand for releasing negativity, stress, bad luck. 7. Cleanse your obsidian regularly. No salt, no heat, no direct sun. Just water, moonlight, or sound. And 8. Crystal healing doesn't replace medicine. It supports you helping yourself.
Pretends to clap. Slow clap. That was actually perfect.
Even I'm surprised.
All right, before we go, we always ask one fun question. Today, it's about obsidian.
Let me guess. What would your inner critic say if it could talk?
Ooh, close. But here's the actual question. If your fears, doubts, or old patterns could speak out loud, what would they say to you? And what would you say back while holding a piece of obsidian?
That's deep.
That's the point. We want you to really sit with that. Maybe grab your obsidian, close your eyes, and ask yourself that question. Then come tell us in the comments on YouTube or DM us on TikTok. We read every single one.
And don't be shy. We've both said embarrassing things on this show.
Max once cried while holding rose quartz.
I did not cry. I had allergies.
Sure, buddy. Sure. All right, Max. Last words for the episode?
I'll keep it short. Crystals don't fix your life. You do. But a good crystal, like obsidian, can remind you who you really are. A mirror, not a magic wand.
That's beautiful. My turn. Not the crystal chooses you. You awaken the part of yourself that was always in the stone.
Did you just make that up?
Quietly, I read it somewhere, but it felt true.
It does.
So here's what we want you to remember. Obsidian helps you see yourself clearly. The good, the bad, the scared, the brave. And when you see clearly, you can choose differently.
That's not magic. That's just being human.
Exactly. Thank you so much for spending an hour with us.
Seriously, we don't take it for granted. There are a million podcasts out there.
If you enjoyed this episode, like this video, subscribe to Cosmic Crystal channel, share it with one friend who needs a little grounding.
And leave us a comment answering the fun question. What would your fears say, and what would you say back with obsidian in your hand?
We'll read them on the next episode, and maybe cry a little.
No crying, just vibes.
Until next time, stay grounded, Stay curious and keep your crystals clean.
Bye!